know. Daylight saving time blows. I'm like, it's 5 o'clock and I want to go to bed.
It's tough on the dogs. It's like it's already like pitch black and it's like 5 o'clock.
And they're like,
Sucks.
why?
Yeah, they don't like it.
Well, they don't know. They just know what their body says and it's time to eat. So they're like, okay, why aren't you feeding me?
Yeah.
Why is it dark outside? And it's depressing. And the sun was shining all day today and I was stuck in my office. So I didn't get to even enjoy any of it. Now I look out, I'm like, cool, it's almost dark outside.
Aren't you going to Aruba in a few days? Is that not true?
I'm going to Aruba in the morning.
In the morning. Didn't
I
you
think
just get back from
maybe
somewhere?
I'll warm up there. I think I'm still freezing, like chronically cold from Colorado.
When did you get back from Denver? Like, it's hard to like even keep track of where you are.
It was
not
actually
Florida.
Johnny Detroit was saying that today in Slack for WagerTalk. He's like, yeah, okay, world traveler. I'm like, whoa. And like, you guys should be happy. I canceled all those K-State football games I was going to go to. Thank God they sucked. You think I wanted to go to weddings? No. Weddings are not a vacation. First of all, they're exhausting.
Yeah.
Think of all the family members you got to have small talk with and you got to be nice to. And then I have to be up early for hair and makeup. And it's just like, it's a lot.
It's I think it's harder for women because it's so easy for a man to get ready. It takes like 15 minutes. Yeah. Women have so many steps to go
when
through.
You're in the wedding, it's so much more. Like when I'm not in the wedding, I want to go do stuff, but you're just sitting around a room all day with a bunch of women. Like, is it too early to drink? Yeah, probably. But I've been up since 6 a.m. because I drew the short straw and have to get my makeup done. Yeah.
That's tough. That is tough. So you were in Denver last week. Tell us about that? Did you make any scenes? Did you cause any trouble? Were you bossing everybody around? All of the above?
So. Not that I know of. We did a Halloween party on Thursday night. That was fun. I went to bed early because I was exhausted. And that was the smart play, I think. Because then I wasn't like completely miserable.
Going to bed early is always the smart play. I just never do it. It is definitely.
Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. But I think like the 4 a.m. wake up to go to the airport, to fly for 4 hours, to get the rental car, to go see all of your family members so you can check those off the boxes that aren't going to the wedding and all the new kids and the pregnant women and all the fun stuff. And then you get to the hotel, check in, and it's like, oh, Halloween party. But I did go meet with Joel from Splash so that I could write off the trip. You know how that goes. That's a great idea, right? Like Joel's like, hey, I live right over by where you're staying. I'm like, perfect. So we got a glass of wine and talk about Splash. And now I feel like my accountant's totally going to let me write off everything that I did for the next 4 days after, right?
You feel like you should have put this on the show. You know what I mean? Like you've put this out in the universe. You're committing tax fraud.
Tax fraud. First of all, I just paid my taxes. I know because I put on my credit card so I could get the points. Oh, of course. It's almost like twice. It's like you felt like you paid it and you're like, okay, it's off my plate. But then the credit card bill comes and you're like, son of a bitch.
Well, the good thing is your tax dollars are, I'm sure, going to people that really need them and not being wasted.
Can't wait.
So what you guys are? I'm supposed to do a show on Sundays with Ariel.
She's gonna be there. She's hosting.
But I did it last Sunday with a gentleman named Dan.
Yeah, so we had a little mishap. Lou,
because neither one of you guys were even available for the show.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so Ariel. Okay, so here's the problem with Kelly. Kelly's got master calendars and master spreadsheets, right? Well, turns out I also did not copy and paste my spreadsheet correctly, and Joe was supposed to be hosting. Joe Madden was supposed to be hosting for Ariel because Ariel's on vacation.
Okay.
And I'm like halfway up the mountains with my sister and her husband, and Lou texts me. He's like, "Where's Joe? It's 3 minutes to showtime." Whoops. So anyway, Dan Alexander came into the clutch. By the way, that was our most viewed last call ever.
Huh. Maybe
it turns out that like our viewers don't actually like women. I don't know.
Oh, well, that's a pretty.
I don't know.
That's a pretty big leap.
Ariel's gonna be back this weekend. I'm gonna.
Maybe they just hold on. Wait. Maybe they just like Dan Alexander.
Dan's great. I think Dan.
Like, why are you jumping to this conclusion of they hate women? Maybe they just
I'm
like Dan.
kidding, because it's me,
Are you?
Ariel, and Joe that host that show, and all of a
Okay.
sudden the most views ever. Dan, the guy who went as
What
the Big Lebowski for Halloween because that's what he looks like on a day-to-day basis gets the most views.
did you have a different set of guests? Could that be a factor? Could that be a
No,
variable? So they just like Dan better than you girls. Okay.
I think
Well, there
so.
you go. Obviously. I mean, the numbers never lie,
I
So
lost cell
I
phone
think,
service, so I missed your segment, but I heard you did wonderfully.
well, I bet we did. I mean, obviously that was the best Sunday the books have had all season. That was
So
4
you want
days
me to have
ago.
Dan host again so that the books can and the underdogs
Yeah,
can.
you can have whoever you want host if the games are going to go like that. Obviously, our best Sunday for sure. I can't remember. That's too far in the past to remember what any of the games were, but I know we did really well. Was there a big under? Oh, the Lions.
Yeah,
The Vikings
Minnesota.
beat the Lions. That was the
Panthers
big
beat
one.
the Packers, which was crazy because I went back and forth on Splash. There was like 3 or 4 teams that I could have used, and in the big one I went Rams because I was like, I don't want to go all in on Packers.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, we didn't do as well in the Green Bay game maybe as people would think, because usually when a team is that big of a favorite, the public doesn't throw them in their money line parlays. Green Bay was like a
Really?
14-point favorite.
Okay.
It was more Minnesota was a really big one, and a lot of people bet the Colts against the Steelers. And then for once, because I like to just complain, but for once, I have to say the Bears covering was incredibly lucky for us.
Wow. You
It
guys
was
needed the Bears.
we
I
needed
did
the
not get
Bears.
that in my list of needs in case you wanted to know.
Oh no, I didn't want to know. Uh, but it was a miraculous
I
cover.
got 4 teams texting me, and not the Bears were not in that list. I just want you to
And
know.
how did those 4 do? They probably went 4-0.
They went 4-0.
You're complaining about a
I should have
4-0.
gone 5-0, but the freaking Broncos defense knocked out CJ Stroud. Speaking of, we were supposed to start the show with Thursday Night Football.
Oh yeah. Is there a Thursday night game tonight? Oh yeah, Broncos Raiders. Good God.
Is there a Thursday night game tonight?
Speaking of
There's a Thursday night game every night except for week 18.
not in my household, there's not. I don't get that channel.
I
We got
do get that channel. I don't get the other channels now.
Raiders Broncos should be a good one. We're at Broncos -9. Most of the money here looks to be on the Broncos. Moneyline parlays with the Broncos.
Do people
Not
tease
a
the
ton.
Broncos even though they're at 9? Do they
Yeah, they'll
incorrectly?
tease them. They'll tease them down. They'll get them under 3. There's a little bit of money to the over. It looks like we've taken some money on Raiders first half. Raiders +6 first half was a sharp play. We moved it down to 5. Tough scene. I think if you're watching that game tonight, I mean, what are you doing? What have
Do
you
you
done
think
with
people should be
yourself?
watching instead?
Anything else?
I've been watching all
There's
the
got
serial killer documentaries on
yeah,
like Netflix and Peacock, and let me tell you, I should be
yeah,
watching
yeah. Tell me
Thursday
about
Night
it.
Football.
What? What do you mean? Which one are you watching?
I
I
just
love
we just
stuff like
watched
that.
we just watched John Wayne Gacy. It wasn't near as bad as Ed Gein. I still can't sleep through the night without having like horrific images in my brain.
Your house is safe. You've got Brett. You've got your
It doesn't
dogs.
matter about safe.
What else matters?
It's just like you can't get those images out of your mind. Like Charlie Hunnam was like one of my favorite characters ever in Sons of
Mhm.
Anarchy. He is ruined
Yeah.
forever. Forever
Did you
ruined.
did you ever see the show, like probably his first big show, Undeclared?
No.
It was from so it was like 25 years ago. It was like Seth Rogen, Jay Baruchel, and it was a show about college freshmen. They hadn't declared their major, and Charlie Hunnam was like the really cool British guy that stole everybody's girlfriend because he's just a good-looking British kid.
Hmm.
It was a good show, and all those guys were like all these guys before stardom. Yeah, Undeclared. It's pretty.
Undeclared. All right. Have never heard of it.
Yeah, well,
I don't know
that
if
was
I can
good.
watch
Now
it. I'm just gonna picture him dancing around in green lingerie.
yeah,
Sorry,
I never.
I'm scarred. I'm scarred. Now I need to like between, but that one was really bad, and then the other guy, the cannibal, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey
Oh
Dahmer.
God. Oh God.
Did you watch AKA Charlie Sheen with Charlie
Oh
Sheen? That's
yeah.
really good. Oh, that's
Yeah, that
great.
was
I thought that was so
that
good.
had a really it kind of ties in with the serial killers, except he didn't murder anybody. That had a really weird twist.
Well, he did shoot his ex-girlfriend accidentally. Kelly Preston.
Fair.
I don't know. I thought it was good.
You're right.
I
I
thought
don't
it was
know. Brett was pretty upset with Denise Richards when she popped up on screen. He was apparently that was like the first love of his life, and he was like, "Holy shit, she's old." And I'm like, "Fuck, I am so screwed."
that's
Because
because
Denise Richards has access to like all sorts of medical advancements, and if he's disappointed about how she looks,
he's thinking about Denise Richards from 30 years ago.
yeah,
What is she supposed to look like?
like as good as Cindy Crawford looks, I guess. I don't know.
I
Like,
thought Denise
there
Richards.
are some like Hollywood women who look great. I mean, look at Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart looks great for her
Yeah, look at
age.
Jennifer Aniston. Look at Jennifer
Yeah,
Aniston.
Jennifer
Oh,
Aniston
God.
looks great.
Yeah, Jennifer
I mean,
Lopez.
if you get the right work done at the right times, I think you can be good. But maybe she got work done too young. I don't know. He was right. I was like, dang, she's not as
Look,
good
it's my
looking as I thought she would
listen.
be.
This is my fault. I got us off track because I was talking about how boring I think the NFL game tonight's going to be. I guess we'll probably need the Raiders. I mean, if they could win, that'd be nice. There's a stat going around about teams that play on Sundays in an overtime game, and then they go into Thursday night football, and they have a horrible record against the spread. It makes sense. The
Love
Raiders
that.
played an overtime game on Sunday against Jacksonville, which they lost. Now they got to go to Denver on the short week. Denver is good. They're pretty good. I mean, they seems like they've been lucky a couple times. They've also been a little bit unlucky a couple times too. I mean, Denver's got a good team. I have zero interest in the game personally, but
Well, I'm gonna watch it instead of some weird serial killer. But
why don't you
only
walk the
because I
dogs?
have Broncos. So remember the splash $2.5 million guarantee that I did 6 entries in? I've got one left. We had the
Yeah.
Rams last week. 1,689 of us left out of 16,337.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I gotta kind of like play. Next week starts double pick week, which is gonna be nuts. But
What are you considering using?
well, I'm using the Broncos tonight.
Okay. Oh, well, then you got a lot of reasons to root. Plus, you're a diehard Broncos fan.
Yeah. I redid my background today and I took away the Broncos helmet. I was like, who cares about the Broncos? I mean, I care about them tonight.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. There's not a ton in Survivor. Once you get knocked out of Survivor, you don't care anymore. And I got to say, I really agree with a lot of our listeners who would complain about how much Survivor talk we did. Once you're knocked out, who gives a shit? Those guys were right, man.
Well, I'm not knocked out.
No, I know that, but I'm saying
That's
if you're
because
the
I
listener,
entered like
you don't care.
4,000 Survivor. And I started a new one actually this week as well, John Murray. It starts next week, week 11. I'm going to send it to you in the chat.
No, thank you. My NFL season has completed.
I'm going to send it to CT and Joff in the chat.
Okay, that's fine. But for me, NFL is over. I'm out. But
why?
I get it now. I just don't care at all.
You should care. I'm gonna send it. You need it. I think it's good for you.
Good for my soul to watch.
I think it's good for you because it like makes you actually care about the NFL. It makes you talk to your friends.
Impossible.
Like think about
how much fun we have in that chat. I love both of those guys, and I love you, obviously, but I don't care about the NFL at all. I think I've been maybe unfairly critical of some of our listeners in the past. Now I agree with them. They were right. It's pretty painful.
I'm waiting for your phone to ding because I just texted it to you.
I got it on Do Not Disturb.
Oh,
do you want to do college football? College football is great. Do you want to do college football or NFL first?
Let's do college football first. Actually, it's crazy. Xavier, one of the guys I met at an Aviva event, and I still chat, and he is still alive in our Kelly and Murray $150,000 college football survivor. So he was asking me for some help. He was like, do I take North Carolina this week? And so I was like, whoa, send me what you got left. Because I think that seems a little crazy. Like North Carolina, like you want to at least be on teams that are going to win. And he's like, well, I've got to save this team, because you have to use the conference championship weeks. But there's 207 people left. I'm really curious. 67 got knocked out last week and by your West Virginia Mountaineers.
Hey, that was a great win for West Virginia. Yeah,
that was
a
a
great
shocking win.
It
I did take
was.
them plus
I
the
agree.
points because you said that it was a sharp side, but you didn't tell me about the money line. Thank you very much.
Well, I didn't know they were going to win now, Kelly, did I? But we did. Yeah, we did. We saw some sharp money on West Virginia we did okay on Saturday. You know, Saturday is always such a roller coaster. There's so many of these, there's so many games and it just goes up and down. Of course, the whole day was building to game 7, which was a tremendous disappointment for us. And I think a lot of sports books around the state. I don't know how the Blue Jays managed to lose that game, but they did.
Well, they
We
lost a
also
couple of games that maybe they shouldn't have lost. Yeah.
We also had, by the way, our best Breeders' Cup in years. I mean, you got to go back
How do you have a
before
best Breeders' Cup? Isn't it?
handle.
It's not
Very easy to measure. Handle.
But wait, I thought it was pooled, so you guys don't actually make money off of it.
Yeah, we do. We get a commission. The more handle, the better.
Oh,
I mean, we got to go back to before COVID for our Breeders' Cup that good. We had a super Breeders' Cup, a great NFL weekend, good college football weekend, very disappointing World Series. But overall, the weekend was terrific for us. College football, I got 5 plays, and then I want to know what the hottie threesome is.
You know what it is. I texted you last night.
I just took the text, forwarded it to Jake Palermo. I never looked at it again.
That's not true.
So I have no idea.
That's not true.
That's definitely true.
Okay.
That's exactly what I did.
Let's hear who you got in college.
They played, I think this first one's tomorrow because today we're recording on Thursday. I think the first one is, I'm right, it's USC minus 14. They're at home against Northwestern. That's a Friday night game. They laid 14. Saturday, they played Rutgers. They played -1 and +1 against Maryland.
Against my favorite team, Maryland.
Maryland fired its coach this week too, Mike Locksley, I believe.
I missed that.
I think so, wasn't he? Or did I dream
Hugh Freeze got fired. I didn't see that Maryland's coach got fired. Did I miss that?
I thought he did.
Because Sammy Pete told me today, maybe you dreamed it. Sammy Pete told me today on the show that teams are 6-1 against the spread after firing their coach. Because I looked at Auburn after Hugh Freeze that they did not make the hottie threesome, but I considered them.
Maybe I got nailed by one of those fake accounts and I just kept scrolling. You know what I mean?
Kind of like when Lou told me that after I was drinking on Saturday that Mike Shula got fired. And I was like, I don't believe you. Like, I've been asking for the guy to get fired all year. And then he sends it to me. I'm like, liar. Anyway, that was true.
Mike Shula is South Carolina's offensive coordinator?
Yeah. Goodbye.
They played, I'll give you some non-fake news. They played Stanford +9.5 and +9. They're at North Carolina. Your friend mentioned maybe using North Carolina. Stanford's a team that's really overachieved this season. They've been better than.
Think about this. They actually want to win. They do.
I know.
And when your team is crappy and they still have motivation to win, that's not a team that I want to go against, right? Like they beat who? Florida State. Then they played Miami really tough for the first half. Granted, not the full game. But how much does North Carolina really care about this football game and want to win? I mean, Bill Belichick year 1 has been nothing short of a disaster.
It hasn't been good. They played, this one I thought was kind of interesting. They played Nebraska. That number's come down a ton. So that number's come down from Nebraska was in the +3 range. And now it's a pick 'em at UCLA.
Without their UCLA right? He's Raiola's out.
Raiola. He is out. He's out. And they played a game that when the schedule came out, we thought it was going to be bigger than this. It's still semi-big. They played LSU +11 and +10.5 against Alabama. Brian Kelly got fired. That's not fake news. Brian Kelly's out. Alabama, I think Alabama's a team that's quietly maybe a little better than people realize. Like they had that just horrible performance against Florida State. But ever since then, I mean, they've looked as good as it gets. They probably should
have lost to South Carolina. This team is just kind of sandbagged it the last couple of weeks. I can see why people like LSU.
They did win at Georgia, but I know what you're saying. And then how about this one? because you guys got mad at me on Saturday, I guess.
Who got mad at you?
Notre Dame. Last week we saw our best accounts laying 30. Notre Dame against Boston. Notre Dame played a horrible game of football. They were terrible. Their kicker looked like it never kicked a football before. They
Yikes.
did manage to beat Boston College. They did not even come close to covering. But this week they laid 25.5 and they played it under. We've taken multiple sharp bets to the under in this game. Navy at Notre Dame. That game is Saturday night in South Bend. I don't know what to make of the Irish now, man, because they're not winning impressively. Their win from earlier in the year against Miami, it doesn't look as good.
You mean
A&M
Miami
keeps
beat
winning.
them early in the year?
I'm sorry, their loss. Excuse me,
Yeah.
you're right. I'm sorry. Their loss to Miami doesn't look as impressive, right? Now A&M keeps winning, which does help their case. But what is
A&M's
Notre
gonna lose
Dame's?
on Saturday.
What's Notre Dame's win? USC, I guess, is the answer. I mean, they don't have a good win. I think Notre Dame will be the really interesting test case. And I say this as somebody that bet them to make the playoff. If they go 10-2 and they get in over 9-3 teams out of the SEC, out of the Big Ten,
I
they're
think that nobody
basically
will care out of the Big 10 or Big 12 because Big 12, if you have 3 losses,
well,
you're not
I
getting
don't-
in. But
yeah.
somebody in the SEC, like Lane Kiffin, is going to riot.
But and I'm saying this is somebody that bet Notre Dame to make the playoff. There's no way they should get in at 10-2 over one of these SEC or Big Ten teams that's running this gauntlet and goes 9-3 when they don't have a single quality win.
I think it depends on which 9-3 team.
I think what you're telling teams then is schedule easy out of conference because all we're looking at is win-loss
That's what
record.
it's always been. That's
I
what
know.
it's always been. And they get in.
Yeah.
It's always been. Don't schedule.
But then why is a school like Auburn, to tie it together, why is a school like Auburn scheduling a home and home with Notre Dame when they're already in the SEC to begin with? What is your upside
You
there?
sound
I
like
guess
an SEC homer.
no, I said Big Ten too. That's not true. I said SEC or Big Ten. Those two conferences are gauntlets this season. Anybody denying that is not watching college football. Yes, they are. You're too big of a Big 12 homer to really see what's
I'm
going
not
on.
sitting
That's the
here making
problem.
a case for the Big 12. I said top to bottom, the Big 12 is got the least amount of parity. I think that there's like 6 teams. I said it before the season started. There's 6 teams that could win it easily. And now it looks like there might have been 8.
Well, I have a Notre Dame ticket. I hope that they let them in. But if they go 10-2 and their best win is home versus USC and they're just skating by against crap like Boston College, I mean, that's not really fair. Forget about the SEC. That's not really fair to a team in the Big Ten that went 9-3 and maybe lost a really tough out of conference game. Just my opinion. I mean, I think we're still trying to figure out how to work the playoff system. But to Kelly's point, I agree with. Don't schedule anybody out of conference. If you're Texas, don't go play at Ohio State. Why? For what?
I've said that forever. I don't understand because it doesn't. They don't care. And then guess what? Then they'll say, "Oh, well, Alabama lost at Florida State," and they're going to go, "Oh, well, that was week 1. It's fine."
Let's just say, let's just use Texas as the example. Let's say Texas loses to Georgia. That's the big game next Saturday. Okay, they're underdog in that game. And then let's pretend that they beat Texas A&M for the sake of this argument. If they go 9-3 and 2 of their losses are at Ohio State, at Georgia, that is objectively a better resume than a 10-2 Notre Dame team.
Yeah.
How can you argue with that?
I'm not.
Well, I'm just
I
saying,
didn't say
like,
Notre
that's not
Dame
even
played anybody, but you've already pissed off all the Notre Dame fans this year by snipping out excerpts of the show and putting it on TikTok. So here we are.
I never look at TikTok. I don't
Okay,
know if the
Because I
fans
was
are
getting
upset.
death threats because these
That's
people
their
are
problem.
irrational.
I don't. Irrational. I think I've been right about Notre Dame every step of the way the last couple of years.
I'm talking about their fans.
When was I? When was I ever wrong about Notre Dame? I've been right the whole time.
You have been.
They even made it all the way to they made it all the way to the championship game last year when I was betting on them. I've been right
I'm so
all
proud of
along.
you.
So what are they mad about? Me being correct, I guess?
No, they're mad at me. They
I'm mad at
don't.
you. What did you do? Oh, because you don't like them.
No, we already did the top 10 list. I don't like. Notre Dame doesn't even sniff the top 25. I could care less about Notre Dame fans.
Well, first of all, I like Notre Dame. I like Marcus Freeman. I think I like the tradition, everything in South Bend. I'm just saying that if they make it a 10 and I also bet them, by the way. So I'm saying this with somebody that stands to make money if they make it. I'm just saying that they don't play anybody and they're not playing well. So why would they get in over an SEC or Big Ten team? It doesn't make sense. I hope they do, because
I hope they don't.
it'd be good.
I hope they
It'd
don't.
be good for me.
I
Why?
hope they don't. I also hope
Your friend,
Miami loses outright.
your friend
Texas loses a couple more games. There's plenty more fan
Well,
bases that I don't like and teams that I bet
if
against.
Texas loses 2 more games and they've got 4 losses, then forget the argument. My argument is very specific. It's they lose to Georgia and they beat A&M, and they're 9-3, and their losses are at Ohio State, at Georgia, and then a bad loss at Florida. That's a pretty good resume with their schedule. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but then
They
they
should
also
be able
play
to play.
teams like Sam Houston State and UTEP.
Well, you can't play at Ohio State for all 4 of your non-conference games, Kelly.
But that's what you guys try to make it seem like, that they have this.
No, I didn't say that. No, I said that they played at Ohio State. Is that a good enough non-conference game for you?
Yes.
Maybe they should play the Chiefs. I mean, what do you guys want? That's a pretty good game. Ohio State's pretty good.
Ridiculous.
I don't think I am. I think I'm spitting too many truths for you. Do you want to talk about this UFC thing? I've spent my whole week talking about it.
It's in the mailbag, so we're gonna wait.
It's in the mailbag. Okay. Well,
Because
why
we
don't
only
you
have
tell
2
me the
questions in
hottie?
the mailbag, so you can go in depth. I want to talk NFL because I have only bet 1 game this week. Todd Dewey's blowing me up, asking me for all of the. I gotta put my handy dandy sticker in my notebook so I don't forget all of your sharps, so I can keep track of you.
Oh, good.
Todd Dewey's like, hey, send me your NFL plays, and I'm like, cool, I like the Bucks. That's it. But you got to pick 5. I got to pick 5 in the super contest. I think I'm just going to pick 5 underdogs and hope that we have the same result as last week. There's a bunch of teaser spots. The NFL last week was good, but it really took the wind out of my sails. I didn't go 5-0.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, you're going to be mad to hear it. I don't have a lot this week. You know, we did see money on Indianapolis, but I hate those Europe games. I love visiting Europe, but I hate the Europe games. I never know what's going to happen. Yeah, it's in Berlin.
And
they played Indianapolis minus. Say that again?
No, I said, and they're off a loss.
Yeah, Indianapolis -6 in Berlin against the Falcons. We went to 6.5. I mean, the Monday night game is objectively a good game. Philadelphia
I like the Eagles
at Green Bay
in a teaser.
Lambeau Field. They took +3 -20 here with us. So +3 -20 on the Eagles. I mean, other than that, we've got we're kind of getting into that part of the year where you just get these super one-sided ticket counts where you have teams that the betting public is going to completely give up on. Somebody like Washington, several dreadful performances in a row, just an absolute embarrassment on Sunday night at home against Seattle.
So now
and then their quarterback gets hurt. Yeah, so I mean, everybody is going to be on Detroit. Detroit's also awful loss.
Yes.
To make it even more one-sided. So Detroit is going to be extremely.
Isn't Dan Campbell 15-1 off a loss or something insane?
I love Dan Campbell. I don't know that, but I love Dan
I got to look again. I thought I read something earlier in the week. I'm just trying to convince myself to bet.
I'll give you another. Teams. Seattle's a team too that's getting a lot of one-sided action. Seattle is at home against Arizona. Arizona's off of a good win. You know, they finally benched their, let's say, on the short side quarterback.
Isn't he hurt?
Kyler Murray. Well, now they're saying he's injured. Yeah. Come on, Kelly. So they benched him. The other
Listen,
guy
I
looks
don't
good.
know
They
if you were just
won.
making things up you saw on like some random X account or if it's real.
No, touche. And then I'll say this: there was an account that I do respect that put a little bit put some money on Jacksonville, but it mostly got rejected. Jacksonville is at Houston. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a week where we really, really have, maybe even more so than a normal week, super, super public favorites. Buffalo at Miami, Baltimore at Minnesota is going to be really public side.
Yeah, I like
And then
Minnesota.
of course, I mentioned Detroit. I mentioned Seattle. Just really lopsided ticket counts are coming this week.
Are people
Everybody's
betting
on
the Panthers -5? I considered them for Survivor. I just couldn't do it.
the Panthers -5. Let's see.
Are they down to 4?
Yeah, no, they are. They are. That's a good point. Carolina's a very public side as
They play
well.
the Saints.
And everybody's on Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is at home against
Off a
Louis
bye,
D'Onofrio's.
Drake May. I'm not buying the hype, John Murray. Everybody pump the brakes. Calm down.
Really? He looks good.
Yeah, okay.
Drake May looks really
let's
good.
see how he looks against that Bucs defense off a bye. I also teased the Patriots for what it's worth, so everybody relax.
I feel like you're just somebody that okay, everybody's saying this, so I just believe the other side.
No. I'm not that contrarian.
Like that's how.
Yeah, you
that's
just
how
said
Ed
shoot besides the Bucs. I gave out the Bucs on Tuesday.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, wait, what's your best bet?
The Bucs.
What's your best bet? Bucs.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Egg on my face.
Yeah. I'm like, what do you mean? That's the only game that I actually played. Minnesota was on my long list. Arizona was on my long list. Why I didn't play Seattle? I don't think I could take Washington. I don't think I could take the Saints. I don't think I could take Miami. That's like bleh.
Why would you take money that you earned and bet it on Washington?
That's my point.
Yeah, that's
they're
crazy.
Just sometimes you just have to say, okay, right now they're not good enough for my money, no matter how bad they are, right? Because we're betting numbers, not teams, but the team still is associated with the number, and I don't know how much Washington cares right now.
That was pretty pathetic on Sunday night. I mean, that was actually that was just embarrassing. I mean, just to not even, when you basically have your whole season on the line and you're at home and you're down 28-0 in the first half, like that can't happen. So pretty pathetic.
Sam Darnold, who's suddenly good at football.
Yeah, I mean, he looks pretty good. You got to say he does look pretty good, right?
Wild. Danny Dimes looks good. Baker leaves the Browns. He's good. It's just, I think that there are some cursed franchises, and I think the Giants, the Jets, the Browns are one of them.
Well, so much. I mean, we've talked about this before, but unless you're like the elite of the elite, almost your whole career is going to be based on what team you go to, who's around you, who's calling your plays. Daniel Jones now with one of the best offensive lines in the league, and Jonathan Taylor and Shane Steichen, and now all of a sudden he looks competent. It's not like that's a coincidence. It's not like that just happened. I mean, I think unless you're like the best guy, like I think Josh Allen could have just gone anywhere in the league and he would have been a superstar. He's just that good. But most guys need to be put into the right scheme.
Do you think Patrick Mahomes could have gone anywhere and been?
Yes, I think Mahomes is like the example of the best guy, and then he also went to the best possible system, and that's why he has 3 Super Bowls. You know, like Allen hasn't gotten the help from his teammates or his coaching staff. Mahomes, not only is he the best of the best, he's also in a great situation. And now he's been to the Super Bowl 5 freaking times because he's so good.
Touche.
Mahomes is awesome. Joe Burrow's a guy that I think also belongs on the level with those two, but he might have gone to like, I like Lamar Jackson. But Burrow's a guy. I don't think Burrow's necessarily gone to a good situation. Yes, they have good receivers there, but other than that, what do they have? They've got a cheapskate organization. They've got a terrible defense. They don't get him any blocking. Yeah, Jamar Chase is awesome. I get it, but they've put very little around Burrow. Lamar Jackson is another great player, but he's a guy that's gone to like the best possible situation for him. And he's been awesome. He's a two-time MVP. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. But when he goes to these playoff games, it catches up to him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think. I like Burrow. I feel bad. Burrow's in a really bad spot, and I hope he doesn't end up like Andrew Luck.
Ooh. All right. Let's go to the mailbag. Since you wanted to talk about the fixed fights.
That's all I want to talk about.
Boss wants to talk about, has the Westgate ever been affected by potential fixed fights in UFC or boxing? Also, thank you to John Murray for reporting sharp action on West Virginia last week and saving me from selecting Houston in your survivor pool.
Wow. Hey, you're welcome, buddy. No, I think I'm coming around a little bit. I think I like the listeners now. I was wrong about them.
Because Kevin, who writes in all the time, said thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, look, we have seen it before over the years, and we've talked about this on the show. The sports books are probably the ones that are going to have the first indicator that something's up. Here's an indicator. People come to the sports book. They're trying to make bets without players' cards. They're trying to bet as much as they can, and they don't care what the price is. That's pretty suspicious.
So you're saying they need to act less suspicious and just be like normal, go get a player's card, act like you've been there before.
Well, they're always going to first try to get the bet down without a player's card. They're gonna do that first, so that they don't have to give up any of their information. But once we say no, then it remains.
Back that up, because I've never been asked for a player's card.
Well, I don't know what you're betting on, and I don't mean that as a joke, but
so that's
like
if somebody my ask is, what's the threshold? Is it like you're betting 2 or 3 dimes in cash?
It depends. It's all event dependent. Because if you wanted $3,000 on the first half total in some little college basketball game tonight, we'd make you go get a player's card.
Correct.
If you wanted $3,000 on Broncos money line, go ahead.
Yeah.
So it all depends on what the house limits are. But if guys are coming in, I can't go into too much detail, but if people are coming in looking to make very large bets on very small UFC fights, and they don't care what the price is, and they try to do it without a player's card, you are raising every red flag there is. And if you have competent people that are experienced, the other one too, here's another one that they love to do. They love to come in late at night.
Oh, because
they reason that the less people, yes, but they probably are also reasoning that the most inexperienced people are working. That the lead managers probably isn't there at 10:15 p.m. because he's not there at 10:15 p.m. in a lot of cases. We're lucky here. We have some really experienced, really good people that like to work the night shift. It suits their schedule better. It helps me a lot because I don't have to worry at night when those guys are here.
Well, yeah, because think about this. Normally, would you just get a phone call? Let's say it's an inexperienced manager. You're at a different sportsbook. They would have to still call and get it approved.
If they would, if they'd even noticed that something was up. If they would even notice, it depends on.
Walks in and is like, I want 10 dimes on this little tiny UFC fight. Surely that would raise anybody's spidey senses just enough to say, I've never seen this person before. And now you want.
It certainly should. I agree. Oh, yeah, you're right. You were right. Okay. It absolutely should. But are you sure that that's going on at every sports book now? The reach of sports betting now is all over the country. Yes, of course, for experienced people like the guys that I get to work with, they would certainly do that. But are you sure that everybody at every sports book in every corner of the country would catch that?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
I don't know. My guess would be probably not. But I do think, though, it's another good example of what we talked about after the the Terry what's his name, Terry Rozier, and that
Mhm.
whole thing. It's a lot easier to get these things done under the radar when you're betting through unregulated channels. When you're betting it in a regulated environment like a sportsbook in Nevada, we have your ID, we have your name, we have you on camera.
So you just would what? 3 or 4 of those different people, you would just report them all to gaming? Because
Just
even
turn
okay,
over.
let's just say I get in, I get that inexperienced sportsbook manager. I got 5 grand down on this fight. The fight happens when I come in to try to cash that ticket. You're gonna nail me then anyway.
Nail you. We have to pay you probably,
But you're gonna
but
not ask for an ID or a player's card then after the fact.
no, they probably they
Like
should.
even if you
But
missed it on the first transaction, would you by the time the fight's over and
yeah,
realize that maybe something was up, ask for it while you're paying out the transaction?
they should. I mean, if it goes over 10,000, they have to.
Yes.
But if it's even if
That's
it's
why I picked
staying under
5,000. I was
10,000
curious.
in a suspicious case like that, they should ask for all the information. Will they every time? I'm not so sure about that. But yeah, I think it's important that people realize that these things get caught and they become harder to execute if this is all true. Right now, it's just allegedly true. They become harder to execute when people in a regulated environment do their jobs correctly. If
Okay,
they
so
collect,
this is all alleged, right? What if
yeah,
they find out
yes,
it's true? You guys are just SOL?
we don't. Our results are not overturned. It's like when we took bets on UFC 200. One of the main fights was Brock Lesnar against Mark Hunt. This was in the summer of 2016. And we took a lot of money on that fight. And Brock Lesnar won. And then the result was overturned because I think he tested positive for steroids, whatever. He tested positive for something. So countless people came in saying they should get paid on their Mark Hunt ticket. But we don't recognize overturned results. We graded whatever it was that night. We're not gonna the UFC fight that you and I are talking about right now, no matter what happens, we paid out the winner of the fight. We don't recognize it being overturned. And it did cost us some money. But we have to go with our house rules.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay.
I think it is somewhat interesting how often this sort of thing happens. And the one
How
thing that's
often does
very
it happen?
consistent is how often does something happen that tests our house rules? I don't know.
No.
Once a
How
week?
often does something happen that it raises suspicion? I remember you telling me a
Not
story years
often.
ago. Okay. I
Not
remember you telling
often.
me a story years ago about Tom Brady going to the Bucks, and you're like, well, he's going to the Bucks because some guy came in and you
Yeah.
guys changed the price, and he's like, okay, I want to bet it again.
Yeah. And that happened too in 20 summer of 2015. I don't know. The year that no, 2016, the year that Durant went to the Warriors. People just started showing up trying to bet as much as they could on Warriors futures. And then of course Kevin Durant went to the Warriors. Does it happen? It's not common. How often are our house rules tested? All the time. All the time.
Yeah. Didn't you see the
Of course.
screenshot that was going around on sports gambling Twitter where some kid is like trying to negotiate with his local bookie and is like, well, FanDuel voided this ticket. The guy, and he's like, but he was there during kickoff. He got the player got hurt during kickoff. And he's like, yeah, but he
Mhm.
didn't take a snap. That's in your rule. And he goes, yes, he did. It was kickoff. And the guy's like, that's not a snap. And it was like a funny interaction because it's some kid crying that the player he bet on got hurt. But it's like the local guy's like
Because there's
beating
no
me.
ball snapped on the because there isn't a snap on the kickoff.
There isn't a snap
Whoa.
on the kickoff, but he was in the game at kickoff and got hurt.
Yeah. The guy got hurt on the kickoff?
Yes.
Wow, that's bad luck.
That's all it
Yeah, I
is. It's
mean, but
bad luck, but like these kids are screaming to void everything. Like I think we've created monsters.
well, we've created some very inexperienced people. If you're crying that you deserve a refund because a player got hurt, you're obviously not a very experienced bettor. To people like me and you, that's just part of the bet. It's no different than if you bet the under in a game and it goes to overtime. That sucks, but it's just part of the bet. I don't. I mean, it's just like you're. I mean, I tease your listeners, but when I say that the sharp guys bet Notre Dame and Notre Dame plays like shit and they don't cover the spread, everyone's like, oh, I thought the sharps were on them. It's like they were. It's just very, very inexperienced people. There's so many people now that they have no idea what they're talking about. They don't understand it, but they have a voice because of social media. I don't even know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe it's a good thing. I mean, they all have a voice now, but they don't know what the hell they're saying. I know that.
Whoops, I was muted. A lot of times they were just yelling into the void.
Oh, well, but I'd say that's most people in every walk of life, you know? What else
They
you
just want to
got?
be heard, John Murray. They just want to be heard.
I know they do, and I think that for the most part, I think actually most of them are pretty well intentioned. And I will say this, I don't blame them. How about that? If I'm one of these kids that just started betting a few years ago, and every time one of my players gets hurt, I get to void the ticket, and every time I cry, somebody comes running over to dry my tears, I would expect that to continue.
I mean, that's been
And then
happening
when
their entire lives, don't
yeah,
you see?
and then when somebody takes it away from them, I don't blame them for crying. I'm not even trying. I'm not joking. Like I get it. It's like all I do is cry. I'd sit on my floor and cry, and you guys give in to me every time. I would expect you to give in to me again. I don't blame them. I'm serious.
I can't. I
Don't
can't.
shake
This
your
just took
head.
a whole different turn. I get it. John Murray,
Give me
parent
the
of the
next
year.
question.
He would not let his kid sit and cry. No, we're out of time. I'm saving this last question for another show. I got to pack. I got shit to do. I got to go to the bank and get cash because Ariel
You
reminded me
gotta
that there's
pack
casinos.
every
There's casinos on Aruba.
Kelly, you're going on vacation every weekend. If we interrupted our show schedule around your vacations, we'd never tape.
Yeah, but if you wanted to run long, it's 40. We're almost a lot. We're a minute and 45, 48 seconds long already.
Okay, that's fine. I hope you have a safe trip. Tell Ariel I said hi. She's the best. Who
She's
am I
gonna probably
doing?
pop on the show next week.
I'd like to do last call on Sunday with Dan. Let me tell you why. I am a ratings whore, and Dan drives numbers. So I think I'd like to be on there with Dan.
Let me
I want
ask
to be
Dan if on his only day off during the week he wants to join you on last call.
I want to be on a successful show that's pumping
How about this?
numbers. I
If
need Dan
Ariel's
there.
really hungover on Sunday, I'll give her the day off and I'll call Dan
Okay.
and say, "Hey Dan, can you get up at 9? Get up and be a presentable human being by 9 a.m. Pacific for John
Where does
Murray,
he live? Where does he live?
California."
Oh shit. Yeah, that's tough.
I don't miss the
All right.
West Coast at all. Not for 1 second.
Have a good trip, and hopefully I don't hear you complaining about any games this week. Honestly, I can't do it.